Hello, my dear subscribers and viewers. It's me again. And today I'm going to answer another question asked in the comments to my videos, and that was about conflict management. Conflict arises when you are dissatisfied with something, displeased with something, and have complaints. Before starting any conflict, you have to ask yourself one simple question: whether that person you are going to start a conflict with is worth starting that conflict or not. If you have decided that you can't survive without that person, without these relationships, that you will miss him or her, then we come to the next question. And the second question is about efficiency of that conflict. Coefficiency of efficiency, let's put it so. You must be sure then that coefficiency of efficiency of your conflict is much higher to your relationships than that of damage, than that of harm. The best way here is not to harm your relationships. And the third point in the conflict is when you can't endure a situation anymore. When you are not sure about coefficiency of efficiency, but can't endure the situation anymore, then the conflict starts anyway. But then you must be prepared that your relationships might be damaged altogether. Well, if the conflict started, you have to deal with it. And dealing with it is not always easy. The first thing you have to do in an argument is to support your position. You shouldn't always say, I want, because I think it's right. You should support your position with the reasons. You shouldn't always say, I want, but you should say why you want that. And that is very important in an argument. Your partner should see why you think so, and maybe he will take your position. But there are occasions when your partner, in the process of discussion, becomes your enemy, becomes your rival. And that may be called a conflict. If it is so, stop discussing your problem. Never discuss your problem if you are too nervous, if you begin shouting, if you are irritated, or if you see that your partner, or your rival in that case, is irritated too much to understand what you are telling him or her. Discuss the problem when you are calm, at least relatively calm. If you start to heat up, stop, make a break, go to the bathroom, take a shower, or whatever. Then return to your partner and start discussing the problem again. If you see that this is a real conflict and your partner starts to be offended with you, then try to use the technique of psychological aikido. This is a technique of using the energy of your rival against himself or herself. If you see that your partner doesn't hear you, isn't listening to you, then acknowledge his or her position. She says, you are not right, and begins to shout, maybe even begins to make some unlogical gestures or something like that. Agree with him, agree with her. Say, yes, I'm not right. And that breaks the point. Believe me, that breaks the point. And after that, Start to use the technique of psychological aikido. That is scolding yourself for your good traits. For example, your partner says that he or she doesn't love you anymore because you are a rude person, intrusive person, or any other arguments. Say, well, yes, I'm an intrusive person. I've loved you too much. My love is too deep to you. I cared for you too much. Perhaps I cared for you too much. Yes or no? Maybe, yes, you are right. I cared for you too much. You mean to me too much. I love you too much. And yes, I'm intrusive with my love. I'm intrusive with my care. I cook breakfast for you from time to time or every morning, whatever the situation is. I try to be nice to you, maybe too nice. Maybe you want another attitude. Yes, I'm too intrusive with my love to you. I will improve. And then the person you are talking to will remember everything good that you've done to him or her up to that moment. You will scold yourself for that, but he will keep in his mind that you kept cooking dinners for him, that you washed his linen, that you cleaned your flat, that you cooked breakfast for him, made some surprises, and all the other things you could remember about your relationships you are good in. You should scold yourself for your good deeds, agreeing with him that you're wrong. And that may make a wonderful effect, may have a wonderful effect, believe me. And that's true not only for a family, but for conflicts with friends as well. But there is another point worth being noticed about conflicts in families. One very good, very wise advice to you. Never go to bed without consolation in your family if your conflict is not too deep and doesn't address something really serious. For example, health of your children or quitting job or something like that. Everything is very, very small in our lives, and our conflicts are really exaggerated sometimes. So don't exaggerate them, because when you go to bed without consolation, you sleep with that problem, and in the morning it will seem much, much bigger, both to you and to your partner. Believe me, never go to bed without consolation. Always yours, Wise Life.